Part 2. Surface types. For this building style you will need to turn off Join Surfaces and enable Move to 1. If you are confident you won't be making any Z fighting, you may turn off Collision as well. There are 8 different surface types: studs, inlets, universal, weld, glue, hinge, motor, and smooth. The most commonly used ones are studs and inlets, as they are the base structure of any part of a building or house. If you've never played with Legos before, here's how they work. Studs, normally at the top surface, are the pointy knobs popping out of a part. Inlets, normally at the bottom surface, are the holes the studs connect to in order to be attached together. Now, universal surface type are both studs and inlets. Although I don't recommend using this for regular building unless it is required to complete your vision of how you want your build to look like. It has both the stud and inlet properties, which means it can stick to both stud and inlet. Here is an example of how you can make use of the universal surface type, by adding texture to parts that would look very plain without them. Weld and glue today are very easy to confuse. However, they are not identical. Can you spot which one is which? Ah! The textures are identical, however, their functions are not. Glue didn't always use the same texture as weld. Back in the day, this is how it used to look like. To show you how they are different, I've built this extremely professional contraption. That will show you exactly what the difference is between glue and weld surface types. As you can see, glue is an elastic type of attachment between parts, while weld is molded together and will not move. Take note, glue and weld will stick to any surface, regardless of how bad it's placed. Now to hinge and motor. Not many people used these because they were either buggy or they could never find out how it works. Hinge works just as you'd expect. Like how hinges work for your doors in your house. When moved, it will rotate around the cylinder it is attached to, its center point. As an example, I've built this tavern gate with hinges on 4 corners. 2 corners for each door to have an optimal hinge motion. For the motor surface, not many builders found out how it works, but it's rather simple. If you've been fiddling with part properties in the past, you've probably noticed the Surface Inputs section. You have probably opened it at one point and thought to yourself, this is too advanced for me. Well, you see, if you place a motor surface on a part and put a part on top of it, it won't work because you never gave it a function. In Surface Inputs, you can give your motor a function. If you change the surface side with motor's surface input to constant, it will start spinning. Change the param for the surface and the speed will change. There is another surface input, but I don't see the use for it from my side, so I won't cover it for this video. If you would like to find out for yourself, you can play with it. It seems to be a looping back and forth spinner, where you can adjust its spin lifetime and speed with param A and param B. With that, this concludes Legacy Style Building, Part 2, Surface Types. I hope it served you well and helps you with your legacy style projects. Inlets, normally at the bottom surface, are the holes. Inlets, normally at the bottom surface, are the holes the stud. Inlets, normally at the bottom surface.
Spin!
Inlets, normally at the bottom surface, are the holes the studs connect.
Spain!